What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Belle Collective. This is season 6, episode 4, and I know I've been MIA from reviewing Belle Collective, but I gotta be honest, y'all, it's just now starting to heat up, okay? Because let's be honest, episodes 2 and 3, it was getting a little wonky, okay? It was giving alright. Wasn't much really going on. I'm just gonna touch on a few things from the past that I missed. Tambra, girl, why you on this show? I don't understand how Tambra is not a friend of the show yet, because I feel like she misses all the important events, okay? Like, it was great to see her at the event that Selena threw, but she wasn't really involved. So it's like, Tambra, girl, you can really be a friend of. No offense. As far as things that have happened in the past episodes, only thing I want to touch on is Selena. I thought that was a beautiful event that you threw in honor of your son. But baby, don't you go to Letitia anymore about couples advice. Don't you let that lady waste your time. Please don't. Her and Glendale are the wrong people to go try to seek advice from. Because this episode right here, episode 4, definitely let us know that. Now keep in mind, we are coming off of Latrice throwing this little get together for all the couples, right? Cool. Everybody having a good time answering questions, you know what I mean? But things took a turn when one of the questions was, do you find anybody attractive that's not your partner? Now, the whole group should have said, no, we don't think nobody cute like that. Oh, but Amanda took it upon herself to be like, oh, he lying. Mandy, this was not the time, the place, any of those things for you to try to put Glendale, I guess on the spot. But either way, girl, you came on national TV to embarrass yourself, Amanda. What is going on? So here's the crazy part for me, y'all. You got Glendale and Javon over here arguing in the house because Javon is calling Glenn out like, I saw the text messages. I saw the text messages and I saw the DMs and all of it. A hot mess, right? Now you got Marie running outside trying to get Letitia to go get her husband. What's crazy to me is that Letitia is holding Amanda's hand as they are walking through the door to see what's going on. Letitia, let go of that girl's hand. You should already see what's going on. Now, one thing that I will say is I did not like the fact that Glenn kind of approached Javon like a man. And I'm like, yo, that's still a woman. Like, I get it. She's a stud, but that's still a lady. I mean, I want to say that. But that is still a woman, okay? Don't approach her like that. But here's the thing. Glenn is saying he ain't do nothing. Glenn is deny, okay? He literally goes outside to talk with the guys and Marie about this. I said, Marie, what you doing with the boys? You just that damn nosy. But I get it. Because let me tell you something. When that whole situation happened, y'all, the only thing I kept thinking was, where did everybody go? Where is Selena? Where is, who else was there? Essie? Like, y'all must have just got the fuck on. Because we didn't see them people no more. Okay? So, we go over to Letitia and Amanda. Y'all, it was bothering me that Letitia kept giving Amanda multiple times to explain what was going on. Okay? Then, as Amanda is trying to explain how Glenn has always been trying to get at her, here comes Latrice. Girl, go on somewhere. Because Latrice, let's be completely honest. Those questions, they were very messy. But at the same time, like, we've seen these type of questions asked before. Like, oh, what's your favorite sex position and stuff like that. We ain't never on any reality show have a question be, do you find anybody else in the group attractive besides your partner? You know what you was doing. Latrice, I know you trying to make it seem like you're not that involved, but girl, you are. And I feel like Latrice tried to get involved because she didn't want Amanda to take all the heat. Like, I think she was thinking that Letitia was going to flip on Glenn, but baby, no. She gonna stand by her man. She been rocking with him since like the 10th grade. She's going to stand by that man. Therefore, your friend came on this show and played herself. So, shout out to you, Latrice, for bringing your friend on so that way she can play herself. Okay? I'm like, Amanda, why the hell would you come on the national TV and play yourself out like this? This is stupid. But nonetheless, we actually see them going through the DMs, y'all. They are going through, reading through. It was messages all the way from 2023. But here's the thing. Letitia ain't fazed by not a message in there. None. I'm just like, what are we doing here? Letitia seems like she don't care that he even talked to this lady, even though he shouldn't have been. For her, she's like, well, we just recommitted this year. So she's just trying to erase anything from the past. And I'm just like, okay, if that helps you sleep at night, Letitia, if that is what's helping you sleep at night, I can't lie. What was bothering me the most, though, y'all, was the little jabs that Amanda was throwing. Like, the fact that girl literally told you that she respects marriages. No, you don't. That's the first thing. Secondly, she told you in your face, if she wanted Glenn, she could have him. She's talking about your man. Like, Letitia, you didn't correct her. You didn't be like, now, hold on, ho. Hold on, ho. You pushing it right now. Even when, they were sitting at the couch and the question was asked in the first place, Amanda, she was the first one to be like, oh, because he lying. He this, that, and other. Scoot back, baby girl. Now, do I think something happened? Absolutely. I absolutely think something happened. Because then we see that Letitia, she is dragging Amanda outside at this point. So that way they can all talk to Glenn. Now we see Cliff, he all up in his man ear like, keep calm, baby, keep calm. Cause you gotta calm down. You gotta play it cool. Nigga, if you don't go on somewhere. Now what's crazy though is that I noticed that all the guys have all the same shorts, right? So basically, it's not that Glenn and Glenn and Cliff playing this, y'all. The wives tried to play that trick. I've seen it on TikTok plenty of times. Is where all the wives, they buy their husbands all the same outfit, and then they show up all wearing the same outfit. But the only thing about it is that they never addressed it on the show. So that's why it looked like, why was Glenn and Cliff dressed alike? It wasn't that. It's that the wives were trying to play a joke on him. Okay, so besides that, Letitia, she tells Glenn that, they already talked about this, and he is not supposed to be putting her in no position that another woman can come to her crazy. And of course, he's like, I ain't put you in no position. I ain't put you in no type of position. I said, sir, you absolutely did. You absolutely put your wife in a situation that she did not deserve to be in, because you should have never been entertaining and messaging Mandy in the way that you have. Okay? Because then, this is what's crazy, y'all, is that Letitia's trying to ask Mandy some question. I don't even know what it was. But here goes Mandy. Go ask your husband. I said, no, again, Mandy, I get it. Women, they should check their man, not the woman. But in this situation, bitch, you piping up a little too much. You're giving a little bit too much mouth. It's not giving your husband has crossed a boundary, and I don't think that he should be trying to, have conversations with me like that. Because at the end of the day, that's your husband. Girl, you was flirting back with that man. And I don't know what messages you showed Letitia, but it's definitely giving y'all had all this shit planned out. I think that Latrice and Mandy had all of this planned out, because how convenient is it now that you can show you can show Letitia some messages that don't really say shit in them. But you were showing the messages to Latrice and Tambra, and he's talking about how you pressure and you this, that, and another. Baby, that's flirtation. Did you show the wife those messages? I don't think that you did. So then, this man, Glenn, he decides to admit that they danced together, and that was it. Y'all, what kind of dancing was they doing? First of all, Taste is a restaurant. What kind of music they playing up in that motherfucker that you about to hit a two-step? Okay? Glendale don't even look like he danced. So, I'm just trying to understand, what kind of dancing was y'all doing? Are y'all got like a slow jam mix happening at Taste? What's going on down there? It's giving weird. It's giving strange. It's giving Glenn and Mandy. Did y'all try to use those condos upstairs? Did Cliff let you use a condo, Glenn? What's going on over there? So then, y'all, I don't know if y'all overheard it, but I feel like at one point somebody mentioned something about sucking some things, and I had to like run it back, and I'm like, somebody mentioned that, but they cut it. Like, what was that? So then Mandy walks off, but the way she walked off, y'all, it's like she was big mad because the nigga that she with, he ain't her man, and he ain't choose her. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he still went back to his wife. Girl, you just played yourself. Take it for what it is. And Javon, you should really feel stupid because Mandy got you out here fighting on her behalf when she flirted back with the man. What the fuck? Child, moving on, because baby, at this point, everybody went home, okay? The party was over. The night was shut down. Letitia, at this point, she feels like the questions were definitely targeted for her. And I can't lie, they were. That specific question absolutely had Letitia's name written all on it, saying that one was directly for her. Okay? Now, we go on to maybe like the next day. Marie and Carrie, they go check on Letitia, right? They bring her flowers and everything. And Letitia, she said something that stood out to me, y'all. She said that she has not talked to Glendale, and she ended up sleeping with Josh. Letitia, get the fuck out your son's bed. Get the fuck out of your son's bed. Do not keep putting him in y'all bullshit, okay? Their son is absolutely about, 12, 13 years old now. Get your big ass out of his bed. I don't care. He can have a cow king. You need to get your big ass out of his fucking bed. You are a grown woman, okay? Settle your fucking emotions. Go cry in the fucking shower. But don't literally get home late as hell and then you go lay in the bed with your fucking son. Are you okay? Glendale could have slept in the room with his son. Glendale can sleep on the couch. Glendale can sleep on the floor in his child's room. Why are you, the mother, going to go sleep in the same bed as your child, who's like a teenager at this point, or at least a preteen? I'm sorry. Make that make sense, sweetheart. Your 12-year-old, 13-year-old child should not be providing comfort for you. Get it the fuck together. Glendale's ass should have been sleeping somewhere else, not you. What the fuck are you doing, Tisha? So then Carrie, let me tell y'all something I noticed. Carrie gives Aikisha, oh my God, because when she was like, it's clear that Glenn was giving somebody the eyes, and she ain't lying. Because there's no way that Mandy would be able to come up with all these incidents and conversations that have happened between her and Glendale if that man did not participate, okay? He was clearly flirting with that lady. So Latrice, she ends up calling while they're filming this. And so Letitia is like, oh, you see who calling me right now? You see she calling me. So of course she let it go to voicemail. And at this point she feels set up. She feels ambushed. And Marie, of course, in Marie fashion, was like, well, she's shown you plenty of times that she's a snake. Y'all, we gotta be honest. Latrice, girl, you are not innocent at all, and it's absolutely giving a snake, okay? The sucky part about this is that your husbands are like best friends. So that's kind of messy. But also at the same time, Letitia, you have not always kept your hands clean, baby. You have done some foul things to some other people. Let's not forget what you did to Tambra, girl. Be so for real. So, moving on from there, y'all, we got Latrice meeting up with Mandy, and she's still talking about Cliff not coming home. Girl, we don't fucking care. We do not care that old man is not showing up to your house. Hell, at one point, we was concerned that he was beating your ass. So, maybe we are all glad that he's not showing up to the damn house. Okay? So then Latrice is like, well, the Bells are going to feel like, it was me who did all of this and it's my fault and that I came up with these questions, but really it was my team. Girl, bye. I know for sure you talked to your team. It was like, make sure you squeeze that question in there. Okay? So Amanda, she feels like, she wishes she would have done this in another setting. Girl, at what point would you be kicking it with Letitia that you would want to go ahead and tell her about you and Glenn flirting? Because here's the thing. Let's be completely honest. Glenn was on some bullshit, and so was she. Because let's not forget, when they asked that question, what's your partner's favorite position? And that man stood up and decided to demonstrate how he be hitting it from the side. I said, it's crazy because you the same one that was telling Marie you don't need no demonstration and she ain't got to go into detail about her and Cedric. But you decided to perform because Mandy was in the audience. Be so fucking for real. Be so for real right now. And it was another question that he answered that I said, oh, you playing it up for Mandy. Okay, I see what you're doing here. But moving on from that, because like I said, Mandy and Latrice, child, y'all both looking crazy. We do get to see a couple of scenes with Carrie. Okay, she go to see her husband. She want to gossip about what happened the night before. He really ain't here for the gossip. Okay, however, he does say that everybody got their stuff that they got to work on. All the couples. And later on, she plans like this nice little evening for them where she does a charcuterie board and he feels appreciated. All right, cool. Moving on. Oh, wait. The only thing I want to point out was the fact that she has made it seem like they have been dating this whole time. But did y'all catch when she was like, how she made her way back to him? I said, wait, y'all made y'all way back to each other. They sound like there was some time where y'all was apart for a minute and then got back together. When was that? I mean, it could have been through college and then after college they got back together. That's understandable. But it's just the fact that they make it seem like they've been dating since they were 15. The same way Letitia and Glenn, how they dated the whole time. Nonetheless, y'all, we see Marie. Now, she goes to see Cedric in that raggedy ass house. And y'all, he has a cosmetology school that's right next door. Baby, you couldn't have told me that was a cosmetology or nothing, okay? That house that he's using as a business, I said, baby, tell me if I'm tripping. This house, matter of fact, both the houses that he got look just like the dope house that Lulu was at, don't it? I said, let me find out Lulu up in there. Nonetheless, we learned that Marie and Cedric, they actually met at cosmetology school back in the day. And I guess now he's a teacher, probably for like barbering or something like that. And Marie is over here trying to help this man dye his beard. Now, she feels like they are more in sync than they have ever been. And she then goes on to tell him that he needs a new bed. Y'all, why they flashed to that goddamn bed? It was pushed up against the wall. Now, you know what? I'm not even going to put too much on that bed being pushed up against the wall. Let me tell y'all why. Because the way that house is set up, it's giving that's the only place that bed can go. Because the configuration of the room, it ain't enough space, okay? It ain't enough space to put the bed in the middle of the room. That's the vibe that I'm getting, okay? My whole thing is, Cedric, I'm trying to understand, what do you do with your money? Because let's be honest, that house is not giving. He got that old tarnished 1994 yellow paint up. I'm like, at least paint the motherfucker. Marie, you worried about a bed? Tell him to put some paint up in this thing. Why does that house look like that? Ain't no way you coming over here to be laid up with him, girl. And you some type of millionaire? What's going on? So she basically tells him that he needs to get rid of the bed because of all the women that he done had in the house. I said, girl, he need to go ahead and get rid of the whole house, okay? He over here making excuses as to why he don't need to get rid of it, saying that she can help spruce it up. I said, spruce? Nigga, we need to start from square one, because this house is not it. They talk about the drama that happened at the party, and Marie feels like it was very disrespectful for Mandy to even, initiate this conversation about Glenn. And it was very messy. It was very messy and drawn out, and it did not have to go this way. But clearly that was the setup. Besides that, y'all, we get to the end of the episode, and Glenn, he talking to his stepfather about this situation. I was completely distracted because that man was talking about how, oh yeah, Glenn, you such a good man and all that stuff. However, Number one, Glenn is not a good man. Not like that. Number two, I was distracted because why was that man painting the borders with no tape? So it's just paint going all upside the wall. I'm like, oh God, please get it together. So Letitia comes in and the dad leaves out. Glenn talking about he feels so betrayed. And at this point, he don't know where his friendship stands with Cliff because, this all happened at Cliff's house. And he in the confessional talking about I looked at him like an uncle. I said, an uncle? That was your bestie boo. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Glendale? Tell me you look at him like an uncle. Child, please. So they talk about the situation, right? And baby, they are blaming Latrice and all the shenanigans because they feel like Latrice always bring them the bullshit. Baby, Glenn thought about this because he brought up 3 different instances that Latrice was in the middle of some bullshit with them. He was like, she brought around Antoinette, she brought around Mandy, and she the one who brought up the whole baby situation. I said, now hold the fuck up, Glendale. You can't put all that smoke on her because 2 out of the 3 involve you on some bullshit. This situation with Mandy, you were absolutely wrong for flirting with that lady. The situation with that baby, you was messing around with somebody and there was a potential baby. Are you okay? Because, baby, let me tell you something. He's running away from accountability. He wants no part of accountability. We can see that right now. But, y'all, that was pretty much the episode. I think it ended with Letitia boo-hoo crying. Ciao, bye. We're going to go ahead and wrap this on up. Y'all, that was pretty much the episode. Tamara going to pop up with Damon on the next episode. So we going to see what happens with that. Y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this. Do y'all feel like Latrice is dead ass wrong? And are we tired of Glendale always, treating Letitia bad? Like, it's not funny, but it's like, girl, every season, he finding a new way to dog you out, okay? But y'all let me know what y'all thought about it. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.